Welcome to Moment of Truth. Today, my name is Nadia Sean, of course, my co-host,
Prissy Compson.
and we have our wonderful guest here, Miss Christine. Miss Christine is going to talk to us about a very important issue. So we are talking about relaxation, but how can you relax when you have legal issues? So she is going to be talking to us about some of the stuff that we need to know, and it's about resource, and she is an expert in that area. So please, Miss Christine, introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to your wonderful program, and I'm so glad to be here tonight. Before I go on, I want to introduce myself. My name is Christy. I'm called by, Christy Jakai, and I'm a registered nurse by profession, and I've worked as a nurse for over 30 years. And then one of the things that I love about it is being able to provide direct care to patients and families. And I also find that there are different ways of providing patient care or taking care of patients' care, advocating for them, and it's not just by the bedside, but outside. Because when patients leave the hospital, they have other lives outside the hospital. And then that's how I came across the service that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. I've been with it for 3 years, and I find it very valuable. So I am an associate providing legal representation to individuals and families so that when issues happen to their lives, they have something to fall back on.
Thank you so much. So today we are talking about, our topic is relaxation, but one of the things about our system here is that there's so many things that goes to people's mind that even when you are asleep, you can't sleep. And sometimes it's the fear of or the anxiety is what's preventing you from really being at peace. So we are going to be talking about legal issues or the legal service that is out there. And of course, our guest is going to talk to us about Legal Shield. So please tell our viewers, what is Legal Shield?
Well, now Legal Shield is a company that has been around for over 40 years all across America, and now all over Canada. And come October, actually, we are taking it to United Kingdom. We are going to be launching in United Kingdom. So what Legal Shield is that it provides affordable access to individuals that are unable to pay the rich man's fee to attorneys.
The rich man's fee.
Yes, so these individuals have easy access to a law firm whereby, they are able to contact the lawyers and they can ask for advice and ask for their rights, to know what their rights are. Basically, any issue they have, be it trivial or traumatic, they have a lawyer to pick up the phone and call directly and get advice on. So that's what basically the main thing that Legal Shield does.
That's amazing. This is very definitely educating, and we are really excited to learn more about it today.
Yeah,
and so, in speaking of Legal Shield, can you tell us why, because often people think about anything legal, legal protection, they think maybe something needs to happen in their lives in order for them to get, legal representation or anything connected to legal services. So tell us, is it even necessary for a person to have legal services, legal representation, even in the absence of something really happening?
Well, thank you very much, and that's very important. Well, before I go further, I just want to let everyone know that I'm not a lawyer. I'm a registered nurse. But I act as the conduit between the law firm and the individuals. Gotcha. So to answer your question, it's always good to have protection before you have the problem, rather than have the problem and then you don't have the protection.
Like
so yes, basically that's the way I look at it. You don't get legal coverage or legal plan because you have a problem. Sometimes we talk to people and they're like, oh, God forbid nothing is going to happen to me. Nobody knows when anything is going to happen to them. That's why it's called accidents. But if you have that coverage, as you said, you'll have peace of mind that if any life issue comes at you, you have a place where you can pick up the phone and call an attorney that will say, these are your rights, that's your right, you're here, you're there. And then that way you know, you step into a situation knowing fully well what it's in store for you.
So then, in your view, or in your perspective, or by recommendation, you would say it's a good idea to have something of the sort, without having to wait for something to happen first before you get this kind of assistance.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a service I would recommend to everybody that can afford it. And like I said, it's easily affordable. And let me also add that it's not like the car insurance whereby when you have your car insurance and you add any of your children, the premium goes up. For the members and the spouse and the children up to 26 years and in college, the fee remains the same at no additional cost. So it's definitely something I would recommend, everybody to get. And some organizations know the value of the service that they even add it to their employee benefits and provide it to their members, so that they know that when their employees have it, as we are talking about peace of mind, they have peace of mind. So they know that if there is any issue they come across, they have they have the ability to pick up the phone and call the attorney that they have, and it's provided by the organizations.
Okay. Well, it's good that you talk about membership. So what does membership plan cover, and how much does it cost? So that
that's what everybody wants to know.
Because everybody wants to know how much, if I'm getting a plan, what am I paying for that plan, and what does it mean to get that plan?
Okay, so let me ask I won't ask a few questions, but I'm just going to say every day or almost every day we sign contracts, one contract to another.
Of course.
Every so often we take our cars to a mechanic and they outcharge us. Every so often you buy a car and there's, you don't read all the fine lines, but you still sign. So these are things that your membership covers, and there's many. And so if you have a contract that you're going to sign, I don't know about you, but I get so lazy reading all those long pages of contracts. All they say, sign down here. That's all I want to do. I sign it, but I don't know what I'm signing. Then at the end, God forbid anything happens and I start arguing and protesting, they'll say, is this your signature? I say, yes.
You signed.
So I'm bound by whatever there is.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, but as a member, you can take the contract and you send it to your attorney firm. They will review it and they'll advise you on areas that you should watch out for. And before you sign any contract, you are free to ask questions. So, and that is the time you have the right to, the opportunity to ask questions. So once the attorney reviews it and tells you, find out about this, find out about that, you take it back and you ask them, you know what you are signing. So that's what they talk about, educated buyer, consumer.
So, okay, you said something interesting, because it may be possible that when people are signing up to Legal Shield, they may not already have an attorney. And so in speaking of how to really understand the terms that you're signing, who would you really have to discuss that over? If you don't have an attorney to in fact share that with you, are these representatives with Legal Shield also can be the same ones to explain things to you if you don't really have an attorney to really look over things for you before you sign anything?
Well, I'm not sure I understand the question. If you can repeat.
Yes. So you said if before you sign something, you can take it to your attorney company, and then for them to look over it, explain things to you.
As a member.
As a member.
As a member.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
that needed to clarify.
That's as a member. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're not a member, of course, you don't have the legal representation.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you're most likely to just sign the contract without knowing all the fine prints.
Fine print,
And then you're bound with by whatever is in the contract.
So as a member of Legal Shield, you have the ability, if you're buying a car, to take your car contract to them to look at it. If you are renting a house, you can take the contract to them to look at it. Whatever you have a contract, you can take it to the legal shield, an attorney that is assigned to you.
Yes.
And then they will look over it and then give you advice.
Yes.
Okay.
And, I use contract as an example, but that's just one out of so many, many issues. You have landlord issue, you have neighbor issue, you have just about anything. And having said that doesn't mean any little thing you run to the lawyer. But
So that was going to be my next question. Will they like look at anything and everything?
Well, basically unlimited, yes. But what I'm saying is that it's not you don't have to be threatening your neighbor because you have legal shield. Don't talk to me anyhow because I'm going to call the lawyer.
Yeah, I'll see about you.
Exactly. Exactly.
See you in court.
Exactly. But it's also a situation where, you can confidently say, I'm going to speak to my lawyer, and you mean it. How many times have we said, my lawyer is going to call you, and you walk away and nothing happens?
Of course.
Of course. But with a membership, when you say that, you know for sure that you're going to follow through. Because with the app on your phone, you can just tap a button, and you call straight to the law firm, and they will return your call in 4 hours, business hours.
Okay.
So
4 business hours, yes.
So when you have, back again to the plan and the cost of the plan.
Yes. Money is always important.
The coverage, but what is the cost and
affordability?
Yes, how can the average person afford it?
Right.
Yes. Well, the average person should be able.
She's a nurse, patient.
I know. Average person can afford it. It's $24.95 for membership monthly. And that covers you with so many of these issues that I talked about, and covers the member spouse, covers children up to 26 years, covers any disabled child for life. Okay. There's no age gap. You have a disabled child, it covers that child for life. And these things, based on the culture that we come from, these things are not really that significant to us.
Yeah.
But where we are, they are. Because people can take others for granted just by being disabled. But when you have a coverage as for a disabled child, if let's say you want something for them or for the child and, they are being refused, you can call your lawyer. And the lawyer will step into, there are so many laws in the states that we don't know about. But the lawyers, they have, a law firm, for example, have lawyers of different specialties. It's not just one lawyer. Lawyers of different specialties, and if they don't have the specialty for the case that you have, they'll look for one,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned, it can cover a spouse, can cover children under 26, so, and the premium still stays the same.
Stays the same at no additional cost.
Okay, and that is monthly for forever.
For as long as
you keep the membership.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like a duration.
No,
Okay.
You're not bound by 2 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel, well, I don't need this anymore, I'm fine. Anything can happen to me. You can cancel.
Okay.
You're not bound to a period of time to keep the service.
And so if you cancel, there are no penalties?
There are no penalties.
Okay.
And if you cancel and decide to come back up again, just, you can still do that as long as you start paying your premium.
Okay. So I did not know too much about Legal Shield, but some of our audience probably have heard a little bit about it. But what I have heard about it is that it's a multi-level marketing, and sometimes people may be a little bit leery about signing up to anything that is multi-level marketing, just because of the perception out there about MLMs. So, can you tell us something about that?
Well, it is a multi-level marketing.
Okay.
But let's face it, the job that we are is also multi-level. You come in as first-year employee, and there's somebody who's been there before you, probably getting more money than you because of their age, I mean, their years of service, and then they go up to the chief director or whoever, you know, that manages the whole place. And with the corporate job, that's more of a pyramid. But this is a inverted pyramid, where the little, I would say, the younger ones coming in at the top, and this is based on how much you do. And our emphasis here is providing the service. Now, the multi-level marketing that you're talking about, people are leery, is they think, I bring you in, then I make money, I fuel, I just sit down and you do the work. It's not that. I don't make anything if I bring you in as an associate. I don't make anything. They need people to go out there and sell, provide the service to people. And the more people they have, I mean, you know more people than I do. I didn't know you before, but Nick brought me. I never knew Nick until I worked in his unit. So that's how you know people. So if I, for example, bring you in as an associate, all the 10,000 people that you know, I may never have gotten to them, but you're still providing coverage to them. So if it's just me, it's just going to be limited to those people that I know. So we need people to provide the service to them. So we don't make anything, nobody makes anything bringing an associate in. And I can bring an associate in, and he or she can, you know, sell the service to more people than I'm selling. It's any service you sell, you get paid. I don't get paid until I sell the service.
Okay. So for me in particular, I'm main concerned about the service provided.
Yes.
Because I think it's important. You are paying $25. What would I get for $25? In terms of legal service. So it is important to look at it. It's like, okay, I'm calling the legal person. When I call them, are they going to tell me, who are you? Or do they have my names? Like, I bought a contract, and so they automatically have my name, so that way, when I call them, they know who I am. Or am I going to get a card that say, oh, you belong to this geographical network of lawyers, and they are, you know, because sometimes you call a lawyer and they'll be like, how can I help you? You have to pay me before I even talk to you.
Exactly.
So I want to make sure that our viewers, you know, this is moment of truth. Before you buy anything, know what you are getting.
Exactly.
And know who is going to be responsible for it, because she sell it to me, and then I call her, she's like, oh, I'm just selling. But I bought it, and I didn't know what I bought. I didn't know what I buy. So we just want our viewers to be very cognizant of anything that you are buying out there, to be aware that you get a good product and a good service, and a good customer service.
Exactly. And everything you said is very important. And good customer service, the law firm is always at the top. They are being monitored by the organization. They, you know, the calls are actually being monitored by the organization itself, not the law firm. And I'll give you a few statistics that we got recently from the law firm. From time to time, the lawyers come in and tell us how they are doing. And they had for the, let's see, on the average, they had what they call intakes. Like when you call and give your problems, they call it intake, and then they start logging it in. They had about 10,144 legal intakes per month. And then they had 16,537 phone calls on the average per month. And then per day, they had 784 phone calls a day. So that's a lot of legal issues out there, you know. So like I said, when you call the law office, they have 4 hours to get back to you. And if they do not get back to you, the organization will ding them. So they are under scrutiny because they get paid a lot. Now, for $25, back to the money, I call it $25, but it's $24.95. How would you get paid? Because, again, it's a collective bargaining. It's collective bargaining. So you get all this money, I mean, people paying this, and then you pay the lawyer to a huge and handsome fee to service all these people so that they don't have any reason not to pay. And if, whether anybody calls them or not, they get that pay, that money. So they don't have any reason not to provide that service. We have 24 hours emergency service. So you're driving around anywhere, maybe traveling, and God forbid you go into an accident or an issue, you have a 24, you call
24-hour
our,
hotline.
yes, hotline, and you call them and they answer. A live person answers.
Okay.
So it's not, you don't leave a message. A live person answers. And I was going to show you an app whereby you will, that you members can get through to the law firm right away.
Okay. So you are, okay. Go ahead.
So you, okay.
So when you, as a member, and I wanted to show this so I can, because you talked about will they know who I am and stuff like that. As a member, when you sign up to, for the service, you will be provided a membership number.
Okay.
Then when you download the app, everything, your information will all be here. And then you have everything here. So when you call the law firm, like this number, you call the law firm, they'll pick up the phone, and they'll ask you a question. You say what your problem is and what you need the lawyer for. I need advice on XYZ, or I need to talk to a lawyer about da-da-da-da-da. They'll take it down. That's the intake. And then somebody will call you back in 4 hours.
Okay.
They even invite members or people associated with the, I think, associates with the business to come and see the law office. I don't know how many lawyers can invite you to their office to come and see how they operate. So.
Okay.
And you can download the app. The app is available only after becoming a member, or you can download it anytime and actually be able to sign up through the app as well.
Yes, you can download it, and we give it out, the app, the free app, we call it the free app. We give it out to people so they can see, have an idea what, what the options they can get. But there's a limit to how, each of the sections that you can go.
How you can use
then
it,
if you want more, then that's what you have to be a member. Yeah.
So a sneak peek at what it takes to be a member.
Yes.
And when you are a member, then you
Then
can have
more
the
access.
the doors are opened up for you.
Of course. I think I like the fact that you are, as a member, you also have an ability to talk to a lawyer, because I think it's important to know, okay, I'm in the Maryland area. There's a law firm in the Maryland area that is assigned to me, that know my number, my membership number, that I could call, when I have any issue. And God forbid, you may not have any issue. They may just have your number, they pay them every month. But if you need them, I just want to be able to know that when I call them, I don't have to answer 200 questions. And at the end of the day, they won't say, oh, you have to pay me before I could talk to you. That to me is not what I want our viewers to know. So that's important.
Yeah. And you mentioned something about Maryland states. So your membership also extends out of where the law firm is. Meaning, let's say you go to New York, something happens, you're on, and this, by the way, this includes traffic tickets coverage. So you have a traffic ticket, you can collect the tickets, take a picture, and send it to the law firm. So they will either go to the court for you, or they can go with you. So let's say you go to New York, you run into police, they give you a ticket, you come back here, you send it to your law firm here, because you deal directly with your state law firm. Now, what they will do is send your case to the law firm in New York. And the lawyer there will do that. You don't have to go anywhere. Now, that's what we talk about, peace of mind. You don't have to take up time to go there. You don't have to spend your gas or money to drive back there to be physically ready. The lawyer will just go for you. Yeah.
So if you are watching a program, we are talking about today's Moment Church. We're talking about Legal Shield. And our guest here, Ms. Christine, has been wonderful just talking to us about a resource that is available. Like anything else that you want to be able to be relaxed. And having legal issues can make us very anxious. So we're talking about ways that we can have that peace of mind, and having a resource available, having that access to a legal system or or a legal resource person can allow you to know that, amen, it's not the end of the world with the issues that you have. So if you have any question, you can definitely send us your questions. You can definitely also shoot us an email, and our numbers is on the screen also. So if you have any question, definitely call us, and our guests will wonderfully answer the question for us.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Christie, obviously legal services can be very expensive, and this sounds like something the average American can afford. Nevertheless, will Legal Shield guarantee the same quality of services that a person, otherwise with more money, can't afford? In other words, if I buy it, am I guaranteed that I'm going to get the same quality or service or representation for the money that I'm paying for?
Well, I would say definitely yes, but don't forget also, or let me add that there are cases that would go beyond writing a letter and making phone calls. Those are called contingency cases. If any case warrants you going to court, then as a member you accrue what they call court hours. And as you know, lawyers charge by the hours.
Yeah.
So for and that's not just the case, it's just their time. Okay, so for you accrue court hours, that is part of your membership. Now, any other thing that the courts, depending on the case, it will, will accrue, as a member, you get 25% discount. And as for the quality of lawyers, the lawyers that serve or participate in the law firm, they are screened. They have they have high experience, many years of experience, and they've participated in legal cases before they can be, added to the firm. Okay. So in the area here, we have Fannie, Frammy, and Trush lawyers. You can
Fannie, Frammy, and
Trush, yeah.
Lawyers. Okay.
Yeah, law firm.
So let's just say that I have Legal Shield and I have an issue. I called the law firm and they were really not very nice to me. And sometimes people can be rude, and you're like, you know what? I don't really want them to handle my case. Do I have any option of going to another legal firm, or because they are the one that has assigned my case, I have to stay with them? Well, as a consumer, do I have any option?
Of course, if you are dissatisfied with them, what I would say first is you can call member services.
Okay.
Member services, tell them your experience, and people do. Trust me, people do, and then they will, because they don't. Just like what you're saying, they don't want that bad rapport or bad reputation on there. So they are very. They monitor the lawyers very closely. So you are free to call member services and tell them what's going on, and they'll take it up. And of course, if you don't want them to handle your case, you're free to use any attorney, any other attorney outside Legal Shield. If you think, well, they're not going to give me a good one. You say you didn't have a good experience, so I don't want them. Yeah, you're free to to use any other attorney. You're not bound by them.
Okay. You're not bound by. So you're not bound by the Legal Shield. It's not bound by that particular company. You can use another company that is part of Legal Shield, or no?
Well, you use the law firm that is in your state of residence. So you can't. So for Maryland, DC, Virginia, it's the same law firm. Yes. Okay. So, and even then, you can't leave DC or Maryland to go to New York, for example, and say you're going to use and if the case is here. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want our viewers, one of the things I always want, a moment of truth, you always want to know what are the limitations.
Yes.
So there's a limitation. So don't think you have a blank check. So you have Legal Shield, and then you call them, and they don't give you good service. And from what we are hearing is that at that particular, agency is really where you are assigned to, so you can't go
Yes.
anywhere else. So we pray that you can call customer service and they can resolve the issue
Yes.
on your behalf. But
Yes.
work with them. They always say the squeaky wheel get the the grease. So
Yes.
make sure that if you're not getting good service, report it out, because you don't want consumer be aware. You don't want to get something and then you feel like you are paying to something but you are not getting you're not getting good service.
That's right.
So we want our viewers to really understand that you can make complaints.
Yeah,
and
to
they
member
don't-
services.
To the customer service, and they will help you. So thank you.
And even though you have to use the law firm that is in your state, the same law firm will still be able to represent you if you had a case from another state.
Well, they won't represent you, but they will contact that state, that
Okay.
out of state legal law firm.
Okay.
We call them provider law firm.
Okay.
They will contact them and send your case to them.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example for me. I had an issue in Virginia. I used to live in Virginia. I had an issue, and then, I got a letter, so I sent it to my law firm here in Maryland. Now, he said, well, I'm going to send it to our law firm then they had not, joined.
Communicate,
Yeah.
okay.
No, the Virginia just joined.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he sent my case to the law firm in Virginia. It was in Richmond. And the law firm contacted me. So after dealing with it, it was resolved.
Okay.
So that's, you won't go from Maryland to Virginia at the time, but he will take your case to the sister, I call it sister law firm, still under the Legal Shield umbrella,
Okay.
who will take up the case because it's a Virginia, under Virginia jurisdiction.
Okay. Sort of transfer your case over
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
So your
Still-
membership is not
still-
limited to
yes,
the state.
Yeah.
exactly.
They will just transfer the
Right.
case
Yes.
and then deal with the case and then give you feedback.
Exactly,
Right.
yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you said it right. Your membership is not limited to the states where you reside. If you have any issue, again, outside your state, but the first step is to let your state's law firm know about it, and then they'll take it to the corresponding state.
So legal shield, does legal shield deal with the immigration issue? Because most people have, that is the black cloud over their head. So does legal shield deal with immigration issues?
Well, they will deal with immigration issues by consultation to give you, information on what you need. But the actual filing, of course, you know how it is. $25 will not get you.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but what are your rights? What do you need to know? They will provide those consultations.
So let's just say I had a consultation and I need filing. Will somebody from the legal firm do it and then I get charged extra, or what does that mean? For
Okay,
me?
they will find an immigration attorney, and they will connect you with the immigration attorney. Any expense that comes from the filing and any other fee will be your responsibility, and they will it will fall under the contingency cases, and you will get $25. 25% discounts.
I see. Well, it's good to know.
So, okay, so what about criminal cases? Is that much like the same as the immigration, where they might be able to connect you to other people, but they may not represent you like directly?
I'm not
will
quite.
they even cover criminal
Yeah.
cases?
I'm not quite sure that they deal with criminal cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So these are some of the
buyers-
nuances
yeah,
that you
so
need to be
buyers
aware of.
Be aware. So whatever
Well,
you are
just-
buying,
Yeah.
just
Don't-
ask questions.
Yeah, and don't get
Yeah.
don't get into criminal
Criminal.
issues.
Yes.
Just be a law-abiding
Abiding
citizen,
But
and
it
then
happens,
yes.
so.
But well, then when issues come to you or criminals come to you, you're on the good side. Always be on the good side. That's what I say. Even with this, be on the good side, because the bad guys can still get to the good guys. And then if you don't have a lawyer, you're still, you're still at a disadvantage. But if you have a lawyer, then you have someone to speak for you.
Yeah, for me in particular, I think, as you're watching Moment of Truth, I just want people to understand the depth of what you get. because the more you know, the better equipped you are. So we're talking about legal issues. So now we know that criminal issues is not covered by legal shield. So let's talk about the living will, because our community, we don't talk about a will. So does legal shield does anything to do with yes, we don't talk about that, you know, but that's it. But we need to talk about it and address it. That legal shield do anything with a will.
Thank you for asking. And again, that's very important topic and issue. And coming from a healthcare, you know, background, extremely, extremely important. Even as a registered nurse, I come across people. I ask them, "Do you have a living will?" They say no. Do you have a living will? They say no. I come across people who are dying and they don't have a will. Now, outside there, every day we find people who died, Aretha Franklin, Prince, and the list goes on, who, you know, these are people who have money or had money, and they didn't make a will. Now, living will is very important because if you don't have a will, your estate, when one passes, or when you pass, is left to this in the hands of the government to decide what they want to do with it, even if you have living relatives, because you didn't tell them what to do. So that is not something we should do to our loved ones. The importance of a will also is that, and this includes medical power of attorney as well.
Okay.
The importance of that is that sometimes we come across situations where family members don't agree when someone, you know, somebody in the family is sick. You know, one person will be dragging this, the other person will be dragging this, and whoever is sickly says the father had not put down what he wants to be done for him. So he leaves that struggle for the children to keep dragging. Meanwhile, the attention is not being put on him. So if people prepare their will while they can, you know, it resolves some of these issues at the time that it's needed. Legal Shield provides the ability for one to do their will, renew it every year, review it every year, and at no additional cost. If, as a member, the first value that you can get from Legal Shield is having your will done.
Okay.
And it's so easy. You can do it from the app.
Okay.
You can do, it's a booklet as well. You do it from the app, fill out all the things, and you send it. Next year, you think, oh, something changed, you can do it again. You don't pay anything extra.
Now, probably in our community, we don't find this too much, but will they, as a member, will they help you with prenups?
There is prenuptial too. It's, yes, prenuptial, uncontested divorce. Yeah. Name change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are all legal issues that keep some people awake
Adoption.
at night. Yeah.
Adoptions, yes.
So if you have Legal Shield, it's part of your membership cost that you'll be able to get the service being provided to you at no extra cost.
Yes.
Or at an additional cost.
For the divorce, if it's non-contested, it's at no extra cost. You wait 90 days, so you get it today, and tomorrow you divorce your husband or wife.
That's the way
So basically, what we talk about, the will you can do right away, but prenuptial, bankruptcy, adoption, uncontested divorce, you have to wait. Yeah, you have to wait 90 days. But if the divorce, for example, is contested, that will get onto the
you have to go to a court hearing.
Contingency. Yeah.
Okay.
So if let's say a particular lawyer, you know, worked on a case, and I very much, you know, satisfied with that service the particular lawyer provided, if in the event of another case, do I have the option to request the same lawyer, or basically you get whoever they give you? Or whoever's assigned?
That's a very interesting question, and I'm not sure how that works, but I know they give it to whoever is the experts.
Okay.
On that particular case.
Yeah, on the particular
Yeah.
case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Because we are talking about a service that is being provided. And most times when a service is provided, you build a rapport with that person.
That's right.
So if that lawyer was the one who worked on my, will, I want to make that same lawyer to work on my other
Exactly.
issues that I may have,
Yeah.
but you don't have that service.
Like I said, that's a very interesting question, and it's something that it's a question that I may have to ask, like one of the lawyers at the law firm when we go to visit.
Right.
It would be nice to ask them: is it possible for a member to request a particular lawyer based on past
the
experience?
relationship,
relationship in the
experience.
past,
Yes, yes. Sort of think of it sort of like when you go to the clinic or in medicine, you have the medical group, and there may be certain doctors that you actually like to work with, and then you do have the option of requesting for those ones, even though anybody is capable of
doing that. Yes. I hear you.
Okay, so this is like truly encouraging. We did talk about the immigration criminal. What about estate planning?
Well, the
I'm not
will
sure
is
that
the will is included in the
Okay.
estate planning,
Okay.
and other things, of course.
Okay.
So when you want, everything is included in it, and when you fill out, it has the financial portion
Yeah.
of it where you put down all the money you have,
And the
where you have
medical.
where you have the money, and then the medical.
Right.
Yeah, it's all under estate planning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think most of our community, we think about the medical part
But we
because
don't
we
think
think
about
about,
the-
okay, who has the power of attorney? And that's one of the things about the will also. Who will be the one who you are putting in charge to execute your will when you are no longer there? And that is an important part. So when you are creating a will, sit down with your loved ones and let them know what is their responsibility, as well as who is going to be the one who has the final authority. Because some people may be included in the will, but they don't have the final authority.
Right.
And the person you selected to have the final authority will be the one to act on your behalf.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So moment or two, really know what you are requesting and know who you are putting in charge of your request.
And I also want to add that, especially in our community, talking about will is like talking about your death.
Yes.
And it's not, surprisingly, or I came to find out that it's not just in Africa. I think the Asian culture also don't like to talk about
Don't
will.
touch
They
it.
don't like to talk about death and stuff like that. But having been in this society as long as we've been, we've come to realize that it's something that is really important. Every day we see people going through issues like that. So it's really important to have it done. And some of the reasons why people don't get it done, apart from the fact that we don't like talking about death,
Fear.
is
Yeah.
that they can't afford it. They can't afford it, so they are like, they put it away. Sometimes I've asked some of my patients if they have a will, they're like, I don't have anything to share. It's not just property, but also medical, power of attorney.
Yeah.
So what do you want to be done to you, and who do you want to speak for you when that time comes?
Yeah.
But people just see it as, property. It's not just property. But they are not able to do it because they cannot afford it. But with membership with Legal Shield, if nothing else, $24.95 is nothing close to $500 or more to get a will done.
Yeah. So you had mentioned bankruptcy. Along the same lines, would they assist with credit repair?
I don't know. They don't do that.
They don't do that. That's good to know.
So what does your $25 get you?
If you find someone who does credit repair, let me know, because I need mine repaired as well.
So we really want our viewers to know, because in so many ways we are really tied to a system that is very open, but you have to know where to go to get the information. And when you don't know where to go, you feel like everything is up against you.
Yeah.
So Legal Shield will give you the opportunity to ask people who are educated in that field to to do the research for you. But remember, there's a limitation. So don't expect them to deal with everything that you have, like, so be aware of their limitations so that way you don't get so disappointed because they didn't solve all your problems. But they are there as a resource. And that is a resource that you need when you are really feeling that you need an open or somebody to really answer your legal questions.
Exactly.
And that is what we are talking about. So as we continue to talk about, legal shield, what are some of the from your perspective, what encouraged you to be part of this organization that you are part of it?
Well, I've always loved to be of advocate for people, provide assistance, help wherever I can. I'm not a philanthropist, but I will be one day. I'm very hopeful.
Yes, indeed.
But I like to help out in any little way that I can, and that is also exhibited by some of the volunteer work that I do sometimes when I can. So with Legal Shield, I found that I can assist people, individuals and families. And by the way, we also provide this service to small businesses. Because every day businesses are sued, closed up because of one thing or the other. So this plan is also can be provided to small businesses to protect them. Yes, from all kinds of lawsuits. So I found that
Yeah, that's interesting.
I found that I can help people in other ways, and not just limit myself to the bedside. It was the same, based on the same token that I also did legal nursing consulting. That's not what we're here to talk about, but also with that, I'm able to help families that feel they have been wronged one way or another, working with malpractice attorneys to bring justice to them.
So that now that you bring a case, let me ask: does Legal Shield cover malpractice?
Thank you.
Yes, I was like, yes, they do.
Along those lines,
So your membership can cover malpractice.
Yes, they do. But it can also be under the contingency cases. Because $25 will not get you. Yes.
So you need to ask questions,
Yes.
and really be informed.
As a legal nurse consultant, when I work with an attorney, I charge him an hour. And that's $250 an hour. Yes. So, compare that to $25. So that's just to let you know that they will provide you the attorney to go with you, but it's under contingency, basis.
So remember, you are only paying what you can afford. But they are providing you with the resources. And I think that is an important part, because like anything else, what you don't know doesn't necessarily mean that it prevents you from being in trouble. So lack of knowledge, my children perish. Yes. So this is a moment that you really want to know that there are resources out there, but there's limitation to what they can provide. Yeah. So ask questions, and make sure that you get the right person to address the issue, so that way at the end of the day, your issue is solved to your satisfaction.
Exactly.
And that is important. So our time is fast spent.
This has been good.
Yes,
super good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we can definitely go on and on, but we really want our viewers to know, if there's anything at all you want our viewers to know, what would you want them to know?
Well, I would want them to know, first, be a law-abiding citizens. That's for one, but also that bad things happen to good people. So you're not getting Legal Shield because you want to be bad, but you want to protect yourself. Right. So get protected.
Get protected.
Get protected.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and that's true. And I think it's also, in the future, we're talking about identity protection also.
Identity protection, yes.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother topic, right?
Yes. Yes. So every day we hear how many million people's data is stolen. Amazon, banks,
Yeah.
everywhere. It could be you, me, you know,
Yeah.
but we don't know, you know. But with ID Shield, you know, you have everything, your social media, your bank accounts, not just your credit, but everything, your phone, everything is monitored. And they monitor it and let you know when they see any unusual activity.
So ID Shield is different from Legal Shield, but all fall under Legal Shield as your membership.
No, you get it different.
That's separate.
That's separate.
Okay, now you pushing it now.
I'm pushing. I'm asking for too much.
Yes. Well, you can get one or the other, or you can get both.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So how much is ID Shield?
ID Shield is oh my.
So maybe we
Yeah.
can have you back some other time to
Yeah.
kind of, talk more about that, maybe
yes.
in connection with other things.
Yes.
Because that is certainly an area that our viewers will really benefit from, because that happens, it happens every
It
day,
happens.
regardless of who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would be glad to come back.
Oh, we're grateful.
It's been a real
Thank you.
experience.
Thank you so
thank
much. So we really want to take this opportunity to thank our guests for being such a wonderful resource as we're talking about Legal Shield and having that peace of mind so that you can relax, and also being a buyer, being aware of what you are buying and the limitation of what your $25 can get you.
Yes.
And that is an important part. So thank you so much for watching. We also want to take this opportunity also to thank our sponsor. So please.
Yes, so we'd like to thank some of all our sponsors. We'd like to thank Linux Training. This is Delta Tech Global, and Linux. They offer Linux training with cutting edge training in Linux system engineering and administration with introduction to cloud technology. And some of the great features that you enjoy for being a part of them is hands-on training, one-on-one interaction, real workplace scenarios. You learn from the industry, from the experts in the industry. They provide mock interviews, and they provide you 100% job assistance. And the number to call for more information is 443-764-1106. We also like to thank Ashon's Collections. Ashon Collection, supplier of electronics and consumer product. You can contact Ashon Collections 024-354-8925 or 027-638-0091. We also like to thank Comfort Realty. Comfort Realty, they actually had a workshop already, but that was on.
It's
coming up
this month.
Oh, it's coming up this month. I thought it was
June 26th.
Oh, it's June 26th. Okay,
Yes.
so we are right on time. We haven't missed that thing. And this real estate workshop is for all of you out there who may be interested in real estate. This is a workshop. They're going to provide a lot of information, how to sign up, how to get involved, how to get licensing, so be a part of it. And that is from Comfort Realty. We really like to say a big thank you to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we also just want to thank let's start with our national head, Apostle Marco, our regional head, Apostle Seminoff, and our district pastor, Pastor Elvis Barton, and the wife. And also want to thank Aisha Dai also for being part of our sponsorship. And thank you so much for our sponsors and our producers in the back. They are definitely
our technicians.
Our technician, Prince in Cancer, for all their support and everything that they do. We really want to say thank you for watching us, and thank you so much for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you for having me.
See you next
Yes.
week, same
Wonderful.
time.
Once again, my name is Pastor Seth Osei in Gettysburg District. This year, 2019 Pensa Conference is coming up in ATL. Of all the places, Washington Region and ATL are combining to hold this year's 2019 Pensa Conference. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a lot of activities. This time we're going outside to evangelize, to hold a crusade outside, and it's going to be a whole lot of activities going on. I'm going to be there. A whole lot of pastors are going to be there. Your friends are going to be there. You don't want to miss this year's Spencer Conference. My friend, if you miss it, you would not going to have anybody tell you about it. So you don't want to stay home. Come, let's worship God. Let's have fellowship. Let's go out to evangelize. And it's going to be a time of your life.